Blake, I'm pretty hungry right now. So would it be alright for me to order delivery?
You want to order more delivery? Recently, I feel like you've been doing that a bit too much.
I have no other options right now. My belly is huge right now, and I can't move because of it.
Now, I'm sure that's true, but... well, there are plenty of things to heat up and eat already there. I'd like for you to start finishing off some of that food first.
I told you, I can't cook right now.
And all I'm asking is for you to put some of the frozen meals that we have in our fridge into our microwave. So just a couple of minutes and you'll be able to eat it.
I'm not in the mood to eat stuff like that right now. Right now, I just want to have some fried chicken. Besides that, I don't want anything else because my body doesn't need it right now. I'm sorry that this is what my body is asking for, but we have to take care of it, or else the baby might not turn out healthy, right?
Alright, go ahead and order some then.
Yay! Sorry about that. You did a lot of work getting all that food for me.
It's whatever. I care much more about how you're feeling than about how the food in the freezer's doing anyway.
Thank you. I'll make sure to start eating more of that stuff when I'm able to. Ah, another thing. After you finish work and are on your way home, can you grab the packages at the front for me?
Did you order something?
There are some creams that are really good for taking care of stretch marks after pregnancy. So that should all be in the mail for me.
Huh? Didn't you order some of that before, though?
About that, I ended up receiving the wrong item in the mail. Something for the flu came even though I ordered those creams. But don't worry, this time I made sure that what I ordered was correct and will be in the packages.
I see. Let's hope that's true. But I'm still wondering if things like that really work at taking away those marks. You might still have fewer after giving birth.
Stop that, Blake. If I end up having any stretch marks on me at all, I'm going to be upset. I want my body and mind to stay the same even after having kids, and that's what this cream is going to do for me.
Sorry, but in my eyes, even if you do have some marks afterwards, you'll still be the perfect wife that I always asked for.
Well, even if you think I'm perfect.
Well, there's nobody else that you're trying to impress besides myself, right?
This is more about how I think of myself. Ah, once you get home today, can you make sure to take care of the laundry? And also clean the bathtub as well. I want to take a nice and long bath tonight, so make sure it's ready for me.
Sounds good. Then I'll do my best to make it home from work early today.
Thank you. Once I've eaten, I'm going to go and take a nap, alright? And good luck with work. Hey, are the presents coming from your mom only going to be money?
That's what I'm thinking. Why do you ask?
Once I'd given birth to Abby, your mom came and left her gift for me in the hospital while I was sleeping, right? Just that one time? Why didn't she wait for me to wake up and see her? Did she not want to see me?
I wonder. Well, you had just given birth and all that, so you were very tired and needed time to sleep. I'm sure she just came and let you sleep in order for you to continue having good rest.
That's not what I think, though. I mean, when your little brother was having his kid, she went to the hospital and helped out with the baby and all that for his wife, right?
Ah, that's because his wife doesn't have any parents around anymore. And she asked for my mom to come and help her out after giving birth.
Well, my parents are divorced and living in completely different houses now, right? Does she not want to come and help me now?
Had you asked her before helping Abby, then she would be helping you out for sure now.
Well, I wanted her to come and help me without having to ask. I think your mom is picking on me a little.
I don't think that's a good way to think about it. I think my mom cares about you a lot, but she can't read minds like you're asking for right now. Another thing, Anne. Didn't you say that right after you had the baby you didn't want my mom to get involved that much? Yet now you're asking for my mom to be around and to support you and whatnot?
Well, if she was going to come and drop off that money, then she would have stuck around and helped out, right? She could have even gone out and started to buy things for the baby with that money. It's obvious that your mom favors your brother and his family more than us, right? She loves their baby way more than ours. I bet it's because their baby ended up being a boy, and she knows that he'll be able to continue the family for her.
I don't think that's what she's thinking about, Anne. It's not like my mom really cares about the carrying on the family name or anything like that. We don't even have a family business or anything like that would be normally need to be looked after in the future. We're just your basic family, you know?
Well, that's not what I think. I didn't even get a lot in terms of presents or money for having our baby anyway. I was given more money by my coworkers from that company I was working for. Randy?
Ah, she was one of your best friends there, huh? But I'm sure that you should be worried about the money that you're getting right now. It's all about the fact that you're given any gifts by friends and family in the first place.
And I'm telling you right now that she probably didn't even want to give me this money. I went through all that trouble to have Abby as well. Yet your mom doesn't have any thanks for me at all. Normally, she should be celebrating all this. I know she doesn't like that we had a girl.
I think you're really starting to overthink things here.
I'm starting to regret having this baby now.
Don't say things like that, please. You didn't just have Abby to get gifts and presents and money, right? How about this? The next time that I have a day off, I'll stay home and I'll take care of Abby all day so that you can go and enjoy yourself. So then you can have a chance to relax and refresh. Of course, that's all depending on if you really want to or not.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Then, this weekend I'm going to take some time to relax. I'll go to the hair salon and then go out shopping for some clothing. I'll even go out with my friends to eat.
Alright, have a good time, please. Also, if we happen to need my mom to come over and help us at all, I can let her know that. Do you want me to ask her right now if sometimes she can come over and watch Abby for us?
Yes, please ask her that. Forget that. There's a stroller that I really want, so I'll go and ask her for that instead.
Why not just use that money that she gave you to buy it?
Buying something like that with the money would make all of it go to waste. I would like to save this money I was given for a little while. I would rather ask her to buy it for me. If she agrees to that, then we'll be lucky.
I'm sure you want something like that, but you were already given money from her.
It's fine. I'm just going to ask her this once about it. Wouldn't want to create any further issues. Anyway, this coming Saturday and Sunday I'm going to make plans for myself.
Okay. I hope you understand how thankful I am to have you, and that you gave birth to our beautiful little girl. I hope that you use those days to really spread your wings, you know?
Blake, listen. Your mom, she's really mean.
What happened?
I asked her if she'd take care of Abby for me. And do you know what she told me? She told me not to bring our kid over to her house.
What? Really?
Yeah. I knew she didn't care about Abby. You can already tell that your mom would rather take care of your brother's baby over ours.
I'm sorry about what my mom said, but I'm kind of wondering why she would say something like that. I never thought of her as the kind of person who would favor one grandchild over the other like that.
And that's what I'd like to know. I understand that her and I haven't really done a whole lot together, but there's never been any problems between us, right? Everything's been normal for us. And even if she did have something against me, that shouldn't carry over to our daughter. She has nothing to do with me.
That's right. I'm really sorry about this. I'll go ask my mom about it. At first I didn't think that anything was really going on. But ever since I started to question there being a difference between the attention my mom gives my brother's family and ours, I've started to notice that something was up.
I'm tired of this. I did not have Abby in order to be treated like some unwanted child by your mom. What did Abby ever do to deserve any of this? I'm starting to think that both of your parents have something wrong with them.
I think my mom telling you not to bring Abby over to her place was not okay.
Go and talk with your mom right now about this. I do not want you to let her get away with acting like that towards us. I have become so upset by all this that I just want to sit down and cry.
Understood. Just let me handle her from now on, okay? Mom, can I talk with you right now? I've got something pretty important to ask, actually.
This is perfect timing. I have something to talk with you about as well, and I was just about to text you. It's about your wife, Anne.
That's who I wanted to talk to you about. Also, well, about her and about Abby as well. Why are you being so cold towards my wife and child?
Well, I have no other choice right now.
What the heck does that mean? What do you mean you have no other choice? You've done so much for Jack's baby, right? So why are you ignoring what my baby and my wife are asking for?
And the reason for that is something I'll share when you come over to my house. Can you please come back here and see me? I want to keep this a secret from Anne.
Even if you have a reason for all this, I'm still shocked that you've been acting this way. I never thought that you would pick to favor one of your grandkids over the others like this. You've already gone and hurt my wife now, so I'm thinking of cutting ties with you.
You calm down and come talk to me at this house right now. If you cut ties to me now, then you're going to have hell to pay later on.
I'm doing this because you're hurting my family. Why aren't you happy to support my wife and the baby?
Because I feel bad for you. I don't want to take care of that horrible woman's baby for you.
You are the worst person I have ever known. What the heck happened to you?
Blake, I understand that you want to be mad at me right now, but there is a really good reason behind why I've called her horrible, and I do not want to take care of her daughter.
Who cares about what reason you have for all this? Calling my wife a horrible woman and saying that you won't care for our baby like that, I didn't think that you would turn into such a toxic mother. I hate that I had to learn all this about you.
That is not your baby.
Huh? What are you saying?
Abby is not your baby, Blake. That's what I'm saying.
There's no way. Are you trying to tell me that Anne cheated on me?
That's right.
You have to be kidding me. Even if you don't like the person that she is, you can't say things like that about her.
Until recently, I never thought about anything wrong of your wife, okay? I do feel bad for just calling her a horrible woman in front of you. But I am not lying about what I've just told you.
Why are you talking about her like that?
Please, just come to the house for me. I'm sure that right now you won't be able to trust me, so we have to talk about this in person. I have to show you the proof I have of her cheating on you.
Blake, can you make sure to get home early today? Because of you staying over at your parents' place last night like that, I've had a tough time here. Can't you just ask your boss to let you go home early? I'm tired as hell right now and really want to take some time to sleep.
Anne? I'm sorry, but I won't be coming home for a little while.
Huh? You just going to leave me here to fend for myself then? I have no idea why you do that to me. Abby isn't just my baby, but your baby as well, right? Why are you talking like you have no responsibility for her?
I'd like to take some time to think things over for myself.
Why do you need time to think things over yourself?
I want to think about how things between you and I will go.
What are you talking about?
Abby, she's not my baby, right?
Huh? You're awful. So this is the kind of man you're going to be now? Or have you always been that way? Did you let your mom get to you? Did your mom go and brainwash you while you've been over there?
I know about everything now, that's all.
What do you mean you know about everything?
About how when you and I started going out with one another, you had another man that you were cheating on me with.
What are you talking about? Why would I cheat on you?
Because you had another man.
How are you able to say something as horrible as that to me?
Because I have the evidence. Right after you and I had decided to get married, my mom saw you out in public. She saw you with a businessman who seemed to be older than myself.
What?
And my mom said she felt as though the aura you guys were giving off was somewhat like that of a couple who were more than just friends. And what makes this all a bit more weird is that this same man ended up coming to our wedding as well. Your coworker from your previous job, right? Randy? My mom wasn't all too worried at the time, thinking that you could have just had a one-time thing with him. But then came the announcement that you were pregnant, and that made my mom a little worried.
What the? She thinks that just because I was with Randy, I've been going out with him behind your back? Your mom is messed up for thinking things like that. She's saying things like that because she doesn't like me.
That's not all, though. She could tell that there was more to you based on how you acted around each other.
There is nothing going on between him and I. There never was. The only reason she saw us that one time is because we ran into one another and decided to get coffee together.
My mom had a DNA test taken. Remember there was that one time when she came over to our house, right? She went and got some DNA from Abby then.
What?
She told me that Abby had been tested as both mine and yours, and she would have forgotten all about the time that she saw you with Randy. But because the results came back saying Abby wasn't mine, she had to let me know everything. She wanted to make sure that I was aware of what had happened.
There has to be some kind of mistake, right?
Then would you like to do the DNA test one more time?
No, wait. There's no way Abby is Randy's.
But just the other day, while I spent 2 days taking care of Abby for you, you went out with Randy, right?
No, I did not.
You can just give it up already. My mom went and found herself an investigator, and they went and collected a lot of evidence between you two together. You had told my mom about how you'd been taking 2 days off in order to get some rest and go out, right? Well, that made my mom even more concerned, and she had to find out what you were really up to.
What a witch. There has to be something wrong with her for doing something like that. Your parents, the both of them are completely screwed in the head, right?
Both my parents were wanting to tell me about this a lot sooner, but they didn't know how to go about telling me all that. They knew I was so happy to have you and a baby. But they had to tell me at some point, and after all I've heard about you, I'm shocked. I'd like to take some time to calm down and think.
Hey, Blake, this is all wrong. When I was with Randy, we just went out for a few drinks, and things happened between us. But it was only one time.
And You think that cheating on me for one night wasn't bad? And in that one night of you two sleeping together that he couldn't have possibly gotten you pregnant? That's not all you should be telling me anyway. If that was just a one-time thing, then why were you with him on Saturday and Sunday? You both went to a hotel that time as well, right?
I couldn't say no to him. He threatened me. He told me that if I stopped seeing him, he'd tell you everything.
If that's what happened, then it's considered rape and we need to go to the police about it. He committed a very serious crime and needs to be dealt with right now.
Wait, the police? I don't want to. They're going to ask me all sorts of questions, right?
Well, if you were being raped and you want to be forgiven by me, then you wouldn't mind having the police question you, right?
Don't say something like that. You have no idea how I'm feeling about all of this, right? I do not want to bring this to the police.
Then that means that you were cheating on me, and you come clean about that. I think this is what you deserve, Anne.
Please, Blake. Don't start talking about leaving me. I gave birth to Abby because I thought she was your baby.
And I thought she was mine as well.
Then let's continue to raise her as if she was our own. Are you trying to tell me that you don't think of her as your own because she's not related to you by blood? Have you not been in love with her? You were so happy for me when I was pregnant, right?
You really have the right to ask things like that? I was left believing that the kid was all mine, and that she would be a part of you and me. Yet she's another man's baby. I gave so much of my time and energy raising another man's child that I got out of work because my wife never wanted to tell me the truth. I would even have nights where I would only get 1 or 2 hours of sleep for another man's baby. I was a freaking idiot for wasting all my time and energy thinking that I actually cared about how you were doing then.
Blake, I'm sorry.
You're not going to be able to apologize your way out of this. You've known from the start that Abby has been your coworker's child, right?
I didn't know at the time.
Would you stop lying to me already? When you went to meet with him the other day, there were audio recordings of you telling him that his child is really cute. And you spoke with him about how I'm nothing more than just an ATM to you.
You're wrong. I was just talking like that because of the conversation we were having.
Nah. I tried thinking about how we could still make things work. But excuses like that just show that there's nothing between us anymore.
Hold on a second. Blake, I'm sorry. I'll apologize for all of this. I'm sorry. Don't throw Abby and I away.
You were always the one that threw me away first. So consider this just me being carried away by the wind like you left me to. I'm finding someone more fitting for me. You can go right back to Randy now.
I thought that you and I would be happy together. That's why I married you.
And you were the one that ruined any chance of happiness between us. I get that you wanted to label my family as being messed up and all that, but the only person that's truly screwed up is you. After that, I had my wife's parents come and talk with my parents as well as myself and her. We had talked about and thought about a lot of options, but in the end, the only one I was comfortable with choosing was to not go back to Anne. After that, we had also went and had a talk with Anne's previous coworker, Randy, and he admitted to both going out with her while she was married to me and that Abby was his daughter. Randy happens to also be married and have a child with his wife too. He never ended up getting a divorce from his wife though, but he did have to pay me a very large settlement, and he would have to pay child support to Anne for Abby. After all that, I divorced Anne, and then she was in so much shock that she ran home with Abby to her parents' house looking for help. Although she was allowed to stay there at first, she never bothered to care for Abby, and the both of them ended up getting kicked out from her parents' house. From there, she was picked up by the police while sitting on the side of the road with Abby, and she was taken to a mental hospital and was undergoing treatments there. This then led to Abby being taken back to her parents, where they agreed to take care of her until Anne was released from the hospital. I had thought very hard about whether I should be the one to take Abby and raise her by my own after all this. But Abby looked too much like her mother, and after seeing all the evidence of Anne with Randy, I just couldn't let that all get back to me, and I refused to take Abby back. It's been a few years now since all this went down, and right now Abby's going to her first year of elementary school. Abby doesn't seem to be all too much affected by what her mother had done to her, but I'm sure as she gets older, she'll start to wonder whatever happened to her father, and why she's living with her mother's parents all the time. I myself have no plans of ever going to meet with Abby, but I'll every once in a while think about her and how things have been going for her. This has led me to talk with Anne's parents sometimes, just to catch up with them on how things have been. This is the most recent time, though, and they sent me a picture of what Abby looks like now, and it was the first time in a while that I cried. It's been so long since the last time I saw her, and I have to say that without a doubt, she looks nothing like me. But even still, I wanted to do something to let Abby know there was someone else out there thinking about her. So I got in touch with someone who was taking down an old playground, and they had sent Anne's parents a slide from there so Abby could enjoy herself even more. I understood that I probably shouldn't really do anything like that, but Abby doesn't really have any parents of her own around, so this was something that I felt responsible for. I really hope that she knows that no matter how long she has to live without her actual parents around her, there is one man who cares about her and how she's doing. I have a lot of things I'm thinking about right now regarding my own future and family. I just hope that when it comes time to start finding someone new and start a brand new family, I don't forget about how Abby's doing. Of course, though, she's not a part of my family, nor is she even a friend of mine, so I can't blame myself for someday leaving the past behind and focusing on my own life. I still have a long life ahead of me. And if someday, when I do have my own family of my own, a wife of my own, kids of my own, or I run into Abby, I want her to know that the man who took care of her for only a month or so was able to make it out of a horrible thing. And of course, I hope the same for her, as she continues to grow up and someday learn the hard reality of what her mother and father did to her and to me. She shouldn't care about any of that, and she should be able to find a life of her own, with the help of both her grandparents as they continue to show her the most support.
My goodness, Cameron, are you yet again just going to sit in your room all day working?
What is it this time, Mom? You really that upset about me working more? My company is currently fine with everything working remotely from home, so I'm gonna take advantage of that for as long as I can in order to not pay for gas. And it's not like I'd be doing anything different in the office anyway. All the same work, and just doing it from my bedroom.
I do not like that.
You don't like it. Then take it up with the company. And I don't see you working right now, so I don't think you have a right to tell me whether you like the way I work or not.
Are you not aware of what everyone in this neighborhood thinks of you, though?
What? I don't care what they think of me. If they have a problem, then they should tell it to my face when I go out. Honestly, I don't get why you're even worried about what they all think, when you barely even stop to talk with anyone in this neighborhood yourself.
But from here to the bus stop that I walk to is your brother's university.
And?
That means that a lot of the friends that Trent has over live in this area and know who you are. And as far as I'm aware, all of his friends have seen you plenty of times and probably pick on Trent all the time, calling his older brother a neat and such.
Oh, I see. So that's what you think of me now. Well, you seem to be the only one that thinks I'm a neat, Mom. Because Trent has already explained to all his friends that I'm home quite often doing work. And that's why I'm never really leaving my room.
And I feel bad that your little brother has to explain to all of his friends why his older brother is a neat. You really are so self-centered when it comes to things like this, Cameron.
Would you please stop calling me a neat? It's not a nice word to be throwing around. And I can see where this conversation is going now.
If you could at least find yourself a job somewhere where you have to wear a suit every day and go into work, then I might be fine with you staying home every once in a while for work.
Just going into work wearing a suit does not make the job worthwhile to me. And these days, ever since COVID, there have been plenty of companies changing their structure to allow their employees to work remotely.
I understand that you're getting all worried about how people might view me, but this world has changed and nobody is bothered by me working from home. I am your mother, and I just want you to get a job where you actually mean something to this world and make the family look good.
I'm pretty sure I'm making us look good. Considering the kind of salary I'm making and the fact I'm able to give you an allowance of $1,000 every month. And what is it with you always worrying about our appearance? It's very shallow of you, so quit it already. Now I have a meeting coming up here in a few minutes, so I'll need to stop talking with you.
Hey, hold it right there!
Cameron, sorry for asking this so late in the day, but would it be alright if I stay over tonight? Sure, come on over. What's going on today with you? I made a mistake on when some work was due by a whole day. I thought I had another day to work on it, but it's actually going to be due tomorrow. Dang, man. Thank God you realized that it's due tomorrow now before it was too late. You're dang right. Well, I came home to Mom and she started to go off on me again about some petty crap yet again, and I wasn't able to focus on the work at hand. She's always going to be that way, huh? Oh, don't say that like she doesn't affect you too. Originally, I was going to ask one of my friends if I could go over to their place, but all of them have finished their work for this week and going out to party. So I'm in a bit of a pinch and need somewhere to get this work done. Honestly, I wish that I was already done with school and could be on my own. You don't have Mom constantly targeting you with things to complain about, making it so much easier for you to think and live. Well, I won't say that I really have to deal with her as often as you. Even growing up, though, she's always been on you about things, and I wondered why there was such a difference in the way she treated you and I. As I got older and then became an adult that could sustain myself, I started to see the person she really is, deep down. And I have to say, I'm not pleased with her behavior at all. I really wish I was like you. Come on now, Trent. Look, you and I have been working on a plan for a long time now that'll buy you your freedom from her. So as long as you can graduate from your school, then you'll never have to deal with her nagging ever again. You can be as free as me. That's true, I guess. When you first told me about how much you wanted to get away from her, I was shocked. And I'm sorry for getting you all wrapped up in my mess. But the fact that you're helping me out is really appreciated, so thank you. I know you appreciate me. So, what time do you plan on getting here later tonight? Give me another hour and I should be there. Yeah, I'll pick up something to eat from the grocery store on the way home, so you don't have to worry about making me anything. Wasn't going to. But what about breakfast? Can you make up some of your scrambled eggs for me? That stuff always hits the spot. Sounds good. I'll make sure to get up early enough to make some, so don't oversleep. And have a safe trip over here. Sweet! Thanks again for letting me stay over. Cameron, I've done it. Once I've graduated from here, I'll be able to work out on a ranch in Arizona. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, congrats on landing that job. Thanks. Now, I'll go and let Mom know that I got a job offering for your company so that she'll get off my back. I'm sure it'll become a small nightmare for you, but let's just hope everything goes as planned. Sounds good. I'll be ready. Now, you get back to enjoying the remainder of your life as a college student, because after that is where the really hard stuff called life on your own begins. Hey, you kidding me? I still have to finish up my final essay before I graduate, so things are not going to be anywhere near enjoyable for me. Cameron, can I come and stay at your place again? Yeah, alright, come on over. Honestly, you don't even have to ask me anymore.
Cameron, I think it's time I cut ties to you.
What? So we're having another one of these discussions. What happened to you this time that you didn't like?
I'm going to be supported and cared for by your recently graduated little brother from now on, so I no longer need you in my life anymore. I'm sure that you never heard anything about this. But recently Trent was offered a job by that very large company, Streeter & Sons, and so that's where he'll be going to work.
I see.
I know for a fact that at that company he will always be having to go into work wearing a fresh suit every day and will be seen as an elite. Luckily, it's not going to end up being one of those companies like the one you're in where they think it's okay to allow their employees to mess around at home all the time. I always knew that Trent was better than you, and it seems that my strict parenting with him has finally paid off, as we can really tell just how much more amazing he is. It is so pathetic that my older son is losing to his younger brother in life.
I'd like to ask you something, Mom. What would happen if Streeter & Sons ended up being the exact same as the company I work for and encourages their employees to work from home?
What?
That would mean Trent's work style would be the same as mine, and you don't like my style, right? If that ends up being the case, what will you do to Trent?
I'll force him to leave that job and go somewhere else. But from what I've heard, that company is only hiring the best of the best when it comes to young men. So there's no need to worry about them asking their employees to work remotely. Oh, I am so excited for this next step with Trent leading the way. I want to see what he looks like when he puts on a suit for work every morning. Our conversation became a little derailed there, but now you understand what's going to happen here. I only need myself one son, and that son is the one I can brag about the most. Now that Trent will be making the big bucks within this company, I will no longer require an allowance from you. We're cutting ties now.
Listen, Mom. The job offering that Trent received has been voided now.
What?
Streeter and Sons just so happens to be my company.
Huh? That's where you're working right now?
That's right. Well, actually, I'm the one leading this company, since I'm the CEO of it.
Huh? You're the CEO of that company?
If you're not willing to believe me right now, go onto my company's website and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. There, you'll see a picture of my face and a small little introduction of myself.
What is going on here? I never even heard about that.
Told you this 7 years ago, Mom. I told you about how I would be quitting the job I had and starting up my own company.
You started your own company?
At the time, I could tell you weren't listening to a word I said. But the fact that for the past 7 years you still have not noticed that I'm a CEO? I'm pretty surprised by that. Kind of insane when you really think about the fact that I'm your son.
About Trent's job offering being voided.
Now that was something he wanted me to do. So you'll have to go have a word with him about it.
You go and cancel the voiding of his job offering right now.
Excuse me?
That's what I want you to do. I want you to put your brother in as good of a position as you are in right now.
What was that?
Yes. Make him the vice president there, the COO. Heck, you could even give your brother your position and let him be the CEO now. Then that would make his income even more than yours, right?
You're stepping off the deep end now, Mom.
It's his older brother's company after all, so you have to make sure he gets a good job there, right? If you find it hard getting Trent into a very high up position there, then you can start him off with a lower position, but make sure he's making 3 times as much as the rest of his coworkers.
How about you stop telling me what to do with my company, you unemployed rat?
What?
If I became some sort of corrupt CEO that began to favor my little brother over everyone else in this company, I'd be removed from this seat.
But, this is Trent we're talking about here.
And like I said, you are far from any position where you're allowed to tell me what to do with my company. And as I was saying, Trent asked for the job offer to be voided as he has other plans now.
What?
And so, I'm doing my job as his older brother and respecting what he's asked for.
You can't do that to him, though. You're going to turn your little brother into a NEET, just like you.
I'm sorry, but didn't I tell you to stop using that word? Also, he is an adult now and has the right to make whatever choices he wants regarding his own life. I'm getting a bit annoyed by this conversation now, so I'll be going.
Hold on a second, Cameron. Trent. Big problem. Streeter and Sons, the company that you got that job offer from, happens to be your older brother's company.
What? I already know that, Mom.
What?
Why wouldn't I already know something like that? He's my older brother, and that's the company he started 7 years ago.
Then this whole thing about the job offering you were given being voided?
You want to ask about that? Well, I'd spoken with Cameron about this a while ago, but his company happened to be second on my list of companies I wanted to join. I didn't want to end up not finding a job after college, and so I kind of asked him to put in a good word for me at the HR department. So after telling his HR lead they were willing to give me an offering for a position, well, there. But when I was later offered a job at the company I wanted to join the most, I told Cameron it was okay to go ahead and void the offering.
Is that so? Then this must mean your number one company is an even better one, right?
Not really. I'm going to be joining a small family ranch out in Arizona, like I'd always wanted to do.
A ranch?
Look, I understand that someone like me always seems like the kind of person who would love to just sit around at an office job all day, but yeah, I've actually always loved the idea of becoming a cowboy. I've already found myself some housing out there and sent most of my things.
Since when did you do all of that?
You don't have to worry about me anymore. I made sure to have Dad co-sign on the place for me since I'm still young and don't have much of a credit score yet.
What? Your dad? Trent, where did you end up finding your dad's phone number?
I was told what his number is by Cameron, although it took a little bit of convincing on his end to do so.
What?
I've actually been talking with Dad, ever since you and him had that divorce a while back. You not know anything about that? I swore I'd told you.
What the heck?
So I'm not sure why you're acting all speechless now, but that's what's happened so far. So I'll be moving out of your place now, heading out to Arizona to start my job.
Trent!
Arizona is pretty far away from here, so I probably won't be coming back here very often, if not at all. So enjoy yourself, Mom.
Trent! Oh, this can't be happening. You have to find yourself a job where you'll be making a lot of money and wearing a suit into work every day. I believed that you'd never end up like the person your older brother is. Oh. Trent, please! Respond to me, please! Cameron, whatever happened to this month's allowance from you?
Excuse me?
You've always sent me my $1,000 into my bank account by this time today. I just had a look at my bank account and there's still been no money from you.
You told me you don't need my money anymore.
Ugh.
Also, you cut ties to me a month ago, so what's all this about? Honestly, I just forgot to block your number. So I'll be handling that right now.
Wait a sec, Cameron!
Goodbye forever.
Cameron!
Well, back when my mom was talking with my little brother about his job, he was already boarding his plane to Arizona. The fact that her son, who she put so much effort into raising, was leaving her and going outside of her plan really set her off in a panic. One of the days I went into my office for a meeting, she followed me in with the intent of forcing me to tell her where he was working now. But I just told her that I didn't know. She believed me. My mom actually doesn't even know that my brother and I are very close to one another, and we tell each other everything. Thinking that she was going to be living off favorite son from now on, my mom quit her part-time job entirely and was ready. But because Trent ran away from her, and she had already cut ties with me, she was forced to go back to that store and ask her manager to start working full-time. However, the manager found it way too funny that she had just quit and was already back to asking for work again and told her to go look somewhere else. This ended up destroying whatever pride she had left in herself, and she began searching for an old folks' home to move into. She's not found a place that'll take her yet, so she had better hurry up and find one soon, or else she's gonna become homeless. But I'm not gonna step in if that doesn't end up happening, as I'm no longer her son to her, but just another stranger, judging her from the outside. Thanks for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.